A very good morning to all of you. The next chapter that we are going to begin is Animal Kingdom. So, children, let's begin. What is an animal? Animals are multicellular and heterotrophic organisms without cell wall and chlorophyll. So we all know that animals do not have cell walls. Animal cell do not have cell wall. They are heterotrophic, that is, they cannot make their own food, and so they depend on some other source like plants on their food or some other animals for their food. Okay, so they are heterotrophic. They belong to the category of heterotrophic. So and they do not have chlorophyll, of course, because they cannot make their own food. Now, children, let's see the various classifications or the major phyla of kingdom Animalia. So here are 11 major phyla under the kingdom Animalia. They are Porifera, Synedria, Stenophora, Platyhelminthes, Aschelminthus, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata, then Hemichordata and Chordata. So these are the and one more was Annelida, which I skipped. So these are the 11 phyla which belong to the kingdom Animalia. So basic classification, how did we categorize or why did we categorize animals into different phyla? So what is the mode of categorization or on which basis we divided the animals into various phyla was first one was level of organization. Now, what is the level of organization? Whether it is cellular level or it is a tissue level, organ level, organ system level. So that was the first category of differentiation, which is called level of organization. Second one was biosymmetry or body symmetry. Now, what does this mean? Symmetry means whether we can divide the body into two equal halves or we can divide the body into many halves, or the thing is we cannot divide the body into two halves. So that is about body symmetry. Then we come to germinal layers or embryonic layers. Now what do you mean by germinal layers or embryonic layers? That all the organisms on this earth are made from either two germ layers or three germ layers. If the body is made up of, or the whole organism is made up of two germ layers, then it is called diploblastic. But if it is made up of three germ layers, then it is called triploblastic. We will talk about these germ layers elaborately later on. Then we come to coelom or body cavity. That is, if the body has a cavity in which the organisms are fitted in, that is called coelomic cavity. And if they do not have, then they are not having that body cavity. Then we come to metamerism or segmentation, that many organisms are having lines on their bodies that are segmented, and such type of organisms are said to have metamerism or segmentation. And the last one was notochord, whether they have a, like just like we have a vertebral column at the back or at the dorsal side of the body, similarly if they have a structure called notochord, then this was also a mode of differentiation or mode of classification in the kingdom Animalia. And we will be talking about each of them one by one in detail. So let's move on, children. See, first one was basis of classification. Now, as I told you, whether the classification level of organization is, what is the level of organization? So based on that we have four level of organization. First one was cellular level, that is the organism is at cellular level, whether it is unicellular or the organism is made up of very few cells, then it comes under the category cellular level. But if the organism has many cells and they are divided into tissues, then it is at tissue level of organization. Then after that we have organ level of organization, or and at the end organ system level of organization. So as we move on further, the complexity of the organism increases, right? Then we come here. Okay. Now here children, you see this is cellular level of organization. Here cells are arranged or as loose cells aggregates. This is tissue level of organization. Cells are arranged in tissues. Example, synedrions and stenophores. This is organ level of organization. Tissues are arranged into organs. Higher animals like platyhelminthes and from platyhelminthes to chordates all belong to organ system level of organization, organ level of organization. And the higher animals are organ system level of organization because they have proper systems inside their bodies which will perform physiological functions like digestion, circulation, respiration. So they have proper systems inside their body, right? So here level of organization, as I told you. Okay. Organ system of different animals show complexities like digestive system. Now you see what is digestive system? Whatever the organism is eating, it has to get digested. Now there are two types of digestive system. Either the digestive system is incomplete or it is complete. Now which one is incomplete? If it has only a single opening, that is it has one opening through which the ingestion and egestion both will take place. That is, taking in of food will also take place from this opening, and expelling out of waste will also take place from the same opening. If it has one single opening, then this type of digestive system is called incomplete because it acts as both mouth and anus. Examples are Synedria and Platyhelminthes. Then the complete type of digestive system is the one which we also have. That is, there are two openings. One is the mouth and the other one is the anus, and both of them have different functions. Mouth will help in ingestion and anus will help in egestion, right? Second system is circulatory system. Here circulatory system is of two types, open and closed. Now children, you know, open close type of circulatory system is one which is in which the blood is not flowing inside the arteries, veins or capillaries. Okay, that means the blood is directly inside the body cavity. It is scattered inside the body cavity. It is not flowing inside the blood vessels. That is the open type of circulatory system. And closed type of circulatory system is the one in which the blood is properly placed into the blood vessels like arteries, veins and capillaries. So such type of circulatory system is closed because in this the organs are not bathing. They are not bathing inside in the blood. Okay, so that is closed type of circulatory system. Next we come to the symmetry. Now I told you that what is symmetry? It is dividing the body into two parts. So it is the arrangement of similar body parts on two sides of the main axis of the body. Now children, this is a human figure and this is the main axis. Now if we cut the human from this axis, I will get two halves, right and left, and both of them will be the mirror image of each other. That means we can divide this body into two equal halves. The left half and the right half will be totally equal. So such type of body is called symmetrical. This body is symmetrical. But here you see, here the body is not symmetrical because this half is not similar to the other half. So such type of body is said to be asymmetric. So either the body is symmetric or the body is asymmetric, right? So asymmetrical means body cannot be divided into two similar parts like most poriferans and snails, and symmetric means the body can be divided into two equal halves like we humans can be divided into two equal halves. Now symmetry is also, children, of two types. As I show you, symmetry is of two types. One is radial symmetry and the other one is bilateral. Now what do you mean by radial symmetry? Here in radial symmetry, you can cut the organism through any radius into two halves. Here the body can be divided into two equal halves by any plane along the central axis. Central axis में से किसी भी plane से अगर आप body को cut करोगे, then you will get two equal halves. The examples given are poriferans, synedrians, ctenophores, echinoderms, that is adult echinoderm. But in bilateral symmetry, there is only one plane through which you will cut the body and you will get two equal halves. Only one plane. Okay. Yeah, this. So this can be cut into two equal halves only through one plane. This is called bilateral symmetry. You will get right and left halves, only one plane. Example, platyhelminthes. From platyhelminthes till chordates, all will show bilateral symmetry except echinodermata. Remember this, echinodermata will not show bilateral symmetry. So this was about symmetry, and there are certain more examples here along with symmetry. You see here the body of bilaterally symmetrical animal is a dorsal side. Now children, the upper side of the body is called dorsal and the lower side of the body is called ventral or the lower side. Okay, left and right lateral sides. Okay, anterior means cephalic side. This is आगे का हिस्सा, anterior is cephalic side, posterior और tail side, this is posterior part. तो अगर अब आपकी body के बारे में बोले ventral part, so the ventral part is your front part of the body, dorsal part is the back side of the body, anterior means आगे का हिस्सा body का, and posterior means the portion which is the anus or the tail side of the body is the posterior part of the body. Okay. So till here we will be doing in this video.